NXT WarGames this Saturday, and we have two matches to go over. One we've already gone over, but just because of what happened last night on NXT, we'll just go through it anyway. But first off, the Women's Championship, the trilogy continues as Shayna Baszler defends, the new champion defends against Kairi Sane, the former champion, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Now, with Takeover events, you have to assume, because as many people don't like it, NXT is still developmental. It may be better than the main roster at most of the time, but it is still developmental in WWE's eyes. So, when you think of these big events, you have to think who's getting called up, who might be getting called up, especially since a Survivor Series weekend, and normally they have been doing call-ups on each of the big four. Of the big four. So it would just make sense to have a call-up here. So, as much as I would love to see Kairi win the title back, I'm going to pick Shayna. Especially with the rest of the MMA 4 horsewomen, with Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir, who are great professional fighters in their own right. And Duke recently making the transition to the wrestling as well. Shafir, not as much has been seen, so I don't know. She was, last time I even saw her, she was pregnant with Roddy Strong's kid. So, that was a thing. So, just to see, and regardless, they're great MMA competitors, so their grappling skills will be great regardless, and that is key for wrestling, so it's going to be good regardless in that. Especially if they are ringside for this match, which I don't know if they are. We have not had confirmation from Regal if that is a thing, or if they're being banned from ringside. We don't know. So we're just going to assume that they are, and if that is the case, then Shayna will win in straight falls. And Shayna will just go up to the main roster. And just go wherever she goes, wherever Raw, SmackDown, wherever. And finally, with the WarGames match, with the Ricochet, Pete Dunne, and the War Raiders against the Undisputed Era. Last night, we had a match between Hanson of the War Raiders and one half the tag champions, Kyle O'Reilly, in which everyone got involved in some way, shape, or form, as always, for these fucking things. And so many distractions, so many attempted interferences, so much chaos, to where Kyle O'Reilly hit Hanson with the belt and won the match. So, which means the Undisputed Era get the man advantage, meaning when that first 5 minutes is over, or whatever time period it's going to be, I believe it's 5 minutes since it was last time, then the Undisputed Era will have one. And then, Ricochet, the Ricochet War Machine fucking thing will have one. And then it'll be 3-on-2, and then 4-on-3 until all 8 men are in the ring, to where the match beyond begins, and when the match can technically end. Because the match cannot end until all 8 men are in there, you have to remember that. Once all 8 men are in, the match beyond begins, and the match technically at that point officially begins. So, I will pick the Undisputed Era just because they have the man advantage. That doesn't always work in their favor. You look at past WarGame matches, just because you have the man advantage doesn't always mean you will win. Hell, look at fucking Lockdown matches. And that holds true as well. In TNA. That holds true as well as there. Because Lockdown's basically, like I said last time, is fucking WarGames, but with a fucking roof, full of weapons, and just go fucking crazy. That's what it is. But yeah. I will go with the Era here, but I will not be surprised if Ricochet and the War Raiders and that win. Especially, I don't really know a lot of these people's experience in a match like this before. Sure, the Undisputed Era were technically in this match last year, so they have the clear advantage, but again, Ricochet could fucking use, there are 2 rings, so Ricochet could do some crazy shit with this. I'm not saying that's gonna sway their favor in their way, but anything's possible in this kind of match. There's 2 fucking rings, there's a cage like almost a mile wide or half a mile wide or whatever, however they build it. It's going to be that thing. So, With that being said, WarGames is this Saturday, and I'm fucking hyped for it. And if you aren't, I am very sorry for you, but you will be hyped once you see it.